The Biden administration's changes to Title IX are now sparking backlash at the grassroots level. 15 states have filed suit. Now a grassroots organization seeks to inform parents about the changes to protections for women and girls in federally funded institutions. We speak with Tiffany Justice, the co-founder of Moms for Liberty, about how her group is empowering a nationwide response. Tiffany Justice, great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me on today to talk about Title IX.
Yeah, now over a dozen states are filing suit against these changes. But what can moms and dads do at the grassroots level to respond?
Moms for Liberty is all about empowering parents and helping them to be effective advocates. So we put together a toolkit for parents because so many people have questions when it comes to Title IX. And so we've put together a really great comprehensive list of resources for parents. You can see the letters that superintendents have sent to their school districts so far. You can see a listing of the lawsuits challenging Title IX. But most importantly, we give you some calls to action, things that you can do at the state, at the local level, school board, at the state level, and then at the level of the federal government in order to have your voice heard against this radical overhaul of Title IX.
And can you give us some examples of some of those things that people can do?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can send a letter to your school board. It's really important for your school board to know that while this rule is supposed to go into effect on August 1st, you're aware of a lot of legal challenges to this bill, and you want to make them aware of that as well. You can ask them a lot of questions. Are you preparing to make any changes in your school district regarding Title IX? Are you going to hire a Title IX coordinator and dedicate funds to this issue? Will you be allowing boys to play on my daughter's sports team or to be able to use the bathroom with my daughter or go into the locker room and change clothes? And then further, are you going to have secret conversations with my children? If my child expresses some type of mental distress to you, are you going to keep that from me and become what they call in these documents a confidential ally of the child, which is in really obliterating, parental rights. I get so emotional about the idea, honestly, of a school thinking that they know better than the parent for the child. And then at the state level, we want to make sure you have a parent's bill of rights in your states. Now, this Title IX rule will supersede a lot of state law. That's what it seeks to do, but it's still important to have your voice heard at that state level. And then we can talk a little bit about the federal government and the Congressional Review Act if you'd like.
Yeah, can we?
Absolutely. So from the time that the rule was put out, the House and the Senate, both chambers of Congress, have 60 legislative days in order to be able to invoke something called the Congressional Review Act, where they can vote this rule down. Now, I don't have a lot of faith that President Biden is going to listen to the will of the people of the United States of America, but he certainly should. Overwhelmingly, we're seeing in polling that the majority of Americans do not want private conversations happening with their children in schools, and they do not want boys playing on girls' sports teams.
Now, I want to bring it back to the moms and dads out there watching this who might not have the same kind of track record that you have with, exacting meaningful change in society. What does it take to really move the needle on things?
Yeah, so our mission statement is to unify, educate, and empower parents to defend their parental rights at all levels of government. And that's what it really does take. It takes brave people to stand up in whatever job, profession you're in and say, hey, wait a second, I believe in the truth. Sex is binary. There are men and there are women. And I promise you, you are not the only person in that office building, standing in that school board meeting that thinks that too. And so we need to unify people, bring them together, educate them on this issue. That's why the Title IX resource page is so important. You need to have all of the tools in order to be able to talk about this rule, to know what it's going to do in order to fight back effectively, and then empower people, make people understand that they need to have their voice heard too. So that's what we seek to do with a lot of the resources at Moms for Liberty.
All right, Tiffany Justice, co-founder of Moms for Liberty, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.